Stoke-on-Trent City Council have removed a number of tents being used by homeless people in Hanley Park. The council acted after finding used needles and human excrement in and around the shelters. Our reporter Joe Thompson is live now at Hanley Park. Now for you, Joe, I understand you've been speaking to a local homeless shelter.
Yes, that's right, Tom. I'm here in Hanley Park, which has been the focus of this and many other homeless issues. Stoke-on-Trent City Council are currently working with the Macari Centre, which is just the opposite side of the park, to help combat these issues. Now, the centre is a street retreat for the homeless and those sleeping rough in Stoke-on-Trent. And I spoke to the founder of the centre and former Stoke City manager, Lou Macari, who was keen to emphasise that events like this are not uncommon. Tents and possessions belonging to homeless people are often moved from the park as they can be hazardous to the public, particularly children who frequent the play area just over here. And even though the tents have been removed, the Macari Centre is open 7 days a week to provide shelter and care for the homeless. Now, whilst the centre is available, some homeless people prefer still to sleep rough in Hanley Park so as to not to deal with the drug and alcohol restrictions imposed upon them if they choose to spend the night in the Macari Centre. Now, to quote Lou Macari himself, in these instances, you can only help people if they want to be helped. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Joe.
The MOT test is changing from the 20th of May with new classifications, tougher emission tests and higher standards for diesel engines. Joe Thompson has been getting his hands dirty at a local garage.
For most motorists, getting an MOT is a relatively simple process, but from the 20th of May this year, that process is about to change. MOTs will no longer operate on a pass-fail system, but will instead be grouped into 5 separate categories. MOT results will now be grouped into 5 different categories, 3 for fail and 2 for pass. A car will be able to fail an MOT with a major fault, a minor fault, or be deemed as a dangerous vehicle. Cars will still be able to pass an MOT, but now may also pass with an advisory, meaning owners will be given tips on how to prevent problems for their vehicle in the future.
On an old car now, I would say get your car MOT now, while you've still got time, because you're then going to have a car that is going to be in a saleable condition, because you'll have an MOT on it and you'll be able to get rid of it. If you're going to be driving around in, like a lot of people do, sort of £500, £1,000 cars, with any of these faults on, you're possibly going to get to the point where these cars are going to be rendered uneconomical to repair, and that's going to be the big fear for a lot of people, I would have thought, especially if you are in that bracket where you need a cheap car.
The new test will be enforcing a crackdown on diesel car emissions. If a diesel car puts out any smoke whatsoever, it will fail its MOT. Cars will undergo more rigorous checks for underinflated tyres, faulty reverse lights and damaged brake pads. It's possible that these new high standards may dissuade people from getting an MOT altogether.
Certain aspects will improve road safety, will improve emissions, but I think what it will do is it'll put a lot of cars on the road that will probably be in an illegal state.
If your car needs an MOT, it might be best to get it done before the 20th of May, as in the future, getting an MOT might be a little bit more confusing. Joe Thompson, Staffs Live. Good morning. Welcome to Staffs Live at 11 with the latest news from Stoke and North Staffordshire. I'm Joe Thompson. Around 500 jobs are to go at General Electric's factory in Stafford. The company is closing one of 4 factories at its Lichfield Road site, staff were told this morning. GE needs to save £750 billion around the world next year, blaming a fall in demand for new power stations and a lack of investment for the cost-cutting drive. Campaigners who worked on Stoke-on-Trent's City of Culture bid believe that the city's reputation has been boosted, despite losing out to Coventry. Stoke-on-Trent were one of 5 shortlisted cities who made it to the final, where they faced competition from Swansea, Sunderland and Paisley. Lewis Warner reports. We've woken up to a very wintry morning today. Essie Long's got the latest with the weather picture.
Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Essie. In sports, Stoke City travel to London tomorrow to take on Tottenham Hotspur, and boss Mark Hughes is hoping the Potters will thrive on the opportunity to play at Wembley.
So back-to-back results would be great.
After 2 years sidelined with a knee injury, Burton Albion captain Sean Barker says he owes his return to his manager, Nigel Clough. That's all your news for now. We'll be back at 2.
A charity concert is taking place in Newcastle-under-Lyme to raise awareness of domestic violence towards men. Hail Pete is dedicated to the memory of Peter Davegun and will be raising funds for the Mankind charity. Band member, known as Muffster, is one of the organisers of the event.
The music scene he's been into for years, like myself. I've been in bands with him for probably 20 years. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the gig. It's always upsetting because obviously Pete had a big influence on the music we wrote, so that's still in here and then there. So every time you play it, it sort of brings a TTI in effect, really. It's upsetting, but it's got to be done. Pete was everybody's brother.
Yeah.
The brother everybody wanted by choice.
Yeah, sure.
So at the end of the day. Details online, there's a Facebook page, Hail Pete, everything's on there. There's also a poster knocking about, there's one on the window there. It's at the Rigger, 7:30 start, £5 tickets, I think it's £6 on the door. Yeah, we'll just get there and set up and do a thing.
Now, like most motorists, if I see a big yellow speed camera like the one behind me, I tend to slow down and hope that I don't get caught speeding. But figures announced today reveal that only 5% of speed cameras in Staffordshire are turned on at any one time. Of the 272 speed cameras available to Staffordshire Police, only 14 of them are ever used.